Water is vital, but sometimes there isn't enough to go round. Look what happened to our chalk streams in late 2019. In Cambridge, our water comes mainly from aquifers under the Gog-Magog Hills. The more water we use, the lower the levels drop. The same aquifer feeds chalk streams like the one you saw earlier. Normally, these streams flow reliably year-round with cold, clear water because of their underground source. In 2019, after a couple of warm summers with a dry winter in between, the streams dried up. This is not the first time they've dried up, but this time it lasted longer than ever before. Ruth Hawksley is the Water for Wildlife officer at the local wildlife trusts, and she's been working there for 15 years. I asked her if she's noticed any difference.
If you talk to landowners who've been living there for 20, 30 years, or even longer, some of them, they'll tell you a big difference in the amount of water in the streams between what they remember as kids and what they see now. It's really drastic. A lot of them, you can see the channel, it's way too big for the amount of water in it.
Is this just the chalk streams, or is this all of the rivers?
Chalk streams particularly, yeah.
And why are the chalk streams so important?
Because they're a very rare habitat, because the water in them should come, at least from the chalk aquifer, from the ground. And it's very clean water because the rainwater goes through the chalk and seeps through and is cleaned basically in the process, and then it comes out of springs. So you should have a very clear, pure water supply, which is also very reliable and constant, because rather than have rain, the river goes up, comes straight back down again. It's a bit kind of buffered by the fact that it goes through the chalk. This is what a chalk stream should look like, restored section here. And you can see that the flow is fast enough, it's making a central channel through the vegetation and keeping the gravel clean there.
So how old or new is this problem?
Yeah, we started abstracting water for Cambridge to drink way back, and even in the 1950s when they were sinking more boreholes. Since then they've sunk more boreholes and had to do deeper because the groundwater level is going down. You have to go further down to get to the water, basically.
This issue is not specific to the Cambridge region, it's wider than that. The Environment Agency is well aware, as you can see from these comments made in their blog in October 2019. They're working with Cambridge Water on the problem.
And Cambridge Water has been pumping water into the streams when they dry up, haven't they?
They've recognised that chalk streams are very important habitats and that chalk stream drying up is quite tragic. So they've attempted to remedy this with the Environment Agency by taking groundwater from deeper in the aquifer and pumping it into the headwaters of the chalk streams.
And does that work?
Sometimes it gives you really lovely clear water, but if the groundwater is too low, then that water will just sink back into the ground again. So you'll have a short length of river with good flow, and then it'll dry up again, which doesn't really work.
There are several factors behind the low flow in the streams. Climate change is one. The warm weather means longer growing seasons and less time for the aquifer to recharge over winter. Plus, torrential rain runs off into the rivers and the sea and is wasted. But our water use is also important. The population is growing, and in hot, dry weather we use even more water, and there are things we can do about that.